fantastic year. It's a bit of a challenge when I stand before a new generation, a young generation of MBA graduates such as yourselves. Because from the time I did my masters, things have changed, the world has changed dramatically. And so when I look back and when somebody says, we are happy to have this young entrepreneur amongst us, I feel pretty happy, and I feel much younger as well to be here. But the relevance today of what your MBA means and what that means for your career tomorrow, with the ever-changing world where globalization has become a phenomenon, where you cannot escape the fact that there are forces and factors beyond your control, where there are things that are happening across the world that affect your careers today and your businesses and your wishes to be an entrepreneur as well. A lot of you are wishing to be entrepreneurs. I'm a fourth-generation entrepreneur now. But even being a fourth-generation entrepreneur in an established business is very, very difficult. Because when you have an established business with certain business models and norms that have been followed over more than 100 years, to establish new businesses within that becomes a bit of a challenge. Because the returns are not great as much as what the core business can give you. But to be out there, work hard towards building a new brand, a new business, is something that requires a lot of support, and I'm glad to say that my business and my family has given me that support. But I'm not here to actually talk about that. I think Dr. Rajagopal has already elaborated on what the MUTHOOT Group is, and I'm sure some of you also know as well. But what I'm here to talk to you about is something very different. I consider that as you step into your roles, into your careers, into your jobs that you will be taking, or entrepreneurial roles that you will actually be looking forward to, I see this change in the new generation that wants things to be really, really fast. Things should happen tomorrow, if not yesterday. But the fact of the matter is that you cannot escape good old hard work, and that is very, very important. Trust me on this, I've been through that. But going forward, it's not so much about how much money you would make, it's not so much of what position you would hold tomorrow that is important. I'm sure you've already been apprised of what exactly are expected or the expectations from you. But the thing that I would leave you with, the thought that I would leave you with is, you need to have two very, very important things in your life. One, you must have passion, obviously. Because if you do not have passion, you cannot jump into any role and think that you can be successful at it. Because passion is very, very key. Some of you will actually take up jobs tomorrow because you are compelled to do so, because you think that's the way to start your career. Others amongst you will be actually lucky because you will actually find businesses which are in tune with your passion. And that is very important. Because if you're not passionate about what you're doing, success is going to keep eluding you all the time. Of course, the values and ethics and morals and traditions, all of these are important. But passion, go out and do something that you are passionate about. That's what I would actually encourage you to do. The second thing that you need is very simple. It's called desire. You have to have an inherent desire to succeed. Because I've noticed that, at least in my own experience, in my own career, of what I have worked hard towards, and certain things that have already eluded me. But what I understood as I went forward, that if I really actually sat down and desired a certain goal, with my heart and soul, and if I thought about it day in and day out, but I did not think that it should come to me today, tomorrow, or day after, but worked hard towards that one goal, I have noticed that it comes sooner than later. And that is the good quality about desire. There's a big difference between desire and want. Because want makes you greedy. because you want something. You want to be out there. I want to drive an expensive car. I want a great house. I want a great career. I want to be rich. These are certain things that come naturally to you. These are wants, and wants will always make you a beggar. Because you will beg to be in that position. You will sell your soul, as they say, to the devil to be in that position. And that's not exactly right. That is not the move that you should be making. Because the thing that you should have more than want is desire. A desire to be there. A desire to do good. And that is more important. Because today, with changing businesses and things going online, you've got your social networks, your online businesses, technology taking over a new role, online aggregators bringing in new products and services. The challenges are plenty. But the fact is, none of this can actually work in isolation. So what is it that I'm telling you? You sitting here today, all of you that I'm looking at you, you have smiles on your faces. You are the growth story of this country. You are the growth story of the world tomorrow. I've had opportunities to be at G20 summits held in various parts of the world, representing the youth of this country. And I have noticed that when you're talking to the G20 nations and you're standing there as an Indian citizen, the eyes of the world, and this came as a surprise to me, but not too much of a shock, but the eyes of the world were looking at the Indian delegation, at us. Because the world has already done what it needs to do in the rest of this hemisphere. But the future growth lies in countries like India and China. They are now looking to us for answers because this is a country with the youngest population in the world. It's not going to be tomorrow, it already is the youngest population in the world. This is the growing population, this is the future of the world. They are looking at India not just because of where technology would come from, where the future of businesses would come from. It's how we do businesses that is more important for them. Because they're very familiar with technology, they're very familiar with how to do business. But what they have lost in the bargain are the traditions, the values, and the singularity of having an inclusive society. And that's what India is all about. And I'm not going to bore you too much with it, but just to let you know that as future entrepreneurs and business people, it's what you can give for society that's more important. Today you have MUTHOOT Finance that has actually sponsored this event, but that is only money. But money is not the most precious commodity that you have. Do you know what is the precious commodity that you have? The most precious commodity that you have is your time. And I know you will take that time to dedicate to your work, to your business, to your job, to your families, but it's important to give back to society as well. Today the Indian government is talking about CSR. In making it compulsory for companies to actually donate for CSR. And what is corporate social responsibility? Haven't companies and businesses and individuals in this country already been doing it for centuries? It's just another term according to me. What is important and what is actually needed in this country today is ISR, or individual social responsibility. Yes, individuals like you and me, we need to be out there. Not just go on Facebook and do a like for a very important cause that we feel we agree with. It's not about the likes or dislikes or opinions and comments that you can put online, but more about the hard work that you can put in to build a better society. And I believe that is where the success of this country lies. That's where the success for all of you lies, because you are the future of this country. And I know people have said that time and again, but that is reality, that is the fact. So it's hard work, having the passion for what you want to do, having the desire to set for your goals and your objectives, being out there and helping out with society that really makes you different, that makes you successful, that makes you stand out in a crowd of more than 1 billion people. And I won't take too much of your time because I think the time allotted to me is getting over as well. But I'll leave you with one thought, and this is my personal mantra. And this you can utilize in your business, in your personal life, in your interactions with other people. I always believe in two things. One, to be brave, and the second, to be noble. And by being brave, I don't mean that you have to have the courage to go out there and physically do something. By being brave, I mean you have to be brave enough to face your inner fears. Because there are going to be a lot of people who are going to be out there telling you exactly what you can't do. And you know exactly what you can do. So to be brave against all of that, to be brave within your family, to be brave within your society, to be brave amongst your friends, among your colleagues and your peers, to stand up for what you believe is right. And that is called being brave. And that takes a lot of effort. And the second is to be noble. By being noble, I'm not talking about that you have to be from nobility. It's very simple. By being noble, you only have to be decent human beings. Be decent to your fellow neighbors. Be decent to people you interact with. Be morally fair. That's all that is asked to be noble. Because that is what is the requirement of society today. We see atrocities that are happening across the world. I don't need to name them. The world has seen enough and more hatred, but today we need to show a little bit more love. And I know you were standing here or sitting here today expecting to hear some business mantras, but this is it. This is the simplicity in all of that. To be brave and to be noble. And that's what will take you forward. Thank you very much.